Luca, which is the newest Disney Pixar movie that went straight to Disney Plus. No premiere access on this one. It's included in your Disney Plus subscription. And I gotta say, I wasn't like super jazzed for this one. Seeing previews and trailers and all that stuff. So I wasn't quite sure what to think. But man, I enjoyed the heck out of this movie. I really adored it.
Hmm.
The the setting it takes place in this like Italian coast town, fishing village. The premise is that Luca is a sea monster who, when he's underwater or just wet, takes on the appearance of a sea monster. But when he's on land and dry, he transforms into a human form. He meets another sea monster, Alberto, who's pretty used to going to what they call the land monster village, the human village, and it's really it's a really lighthearted tale about like friendship and kind of discovering who you are, that type of thing. I loved, like I said, the setting. I loved the animation style, the art style. Uh, the animation's just gorgeous. There's
Oh
one.
yeah.
I'm trying to do this spoiler free, but there's one part where Luca gets out of the water and starts looking around, and just everything that they animate that he sees for the first time above water is just breathtaking. How those little shots are animated. But I love the art style of the characters. I really kind of fell in love with that. It almost takes on like a Peanuts vibe at some points.
Hmm.
Like a comic strip vibe. I kind of got those feelings multiple times through the movie. There's kind of like watching like a comic strip. Um, and then the characters I really got attached to, especially Julia. I thought Julia was an amazing character. Uh,
Agreed.
just kind of this. She calls herself an underdog. But, she's kind of this very uh, spontaneous, spunky, loud personality. But she's like she becomes like a fierce friend of these two. And the story that I think that they tell in an hour and a half, with these three friends meeting each other, becoming closer, the journeys that they go on, the trials that they come up on. Um, I thought it was really, really well done. Um, and I wasn't a huge fan of Soul, which is Pixar's uh, last movie, but this Luca brought me right back for Pixar. I think this for me this was a home run. I loved this movie.
Yeah, I have to agree. I actually just got done watching it just before we
Okay.
started recording, and Sydney, of course, really enjoyed it as well,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Brittany did too. Um, and it was funny because I put it on and I was like, "Sid, do you want to watch this movie?" And she's like, "I don't know. I'm gonna play on my iPad or something like that." And I'm like, "Okay." And then she saw like what we were watching,
Hmm.
and she was like, "Hey, I do want to watch this." She's like, "I didn't know you were watching a kid movie. I thought you were watching a dad thing or something like." It was funny. Um, but yeah, she liked it. I thought this is another solid entry. I'm with you. I didn't love Soul.
Right.
I liked it. I enjoyed it, but and Luca isn't necessarily like up there for me with like the likes of Moana and
No.
but it's right there with like Onward for me, which I also really liked. Um, I think I would I feel like it's right in that zone for me. I thought Jacob Tremblay as Luca was absolutely endearing, and just a character that I quickly fell in love with.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think Julia was a great character too.
Yeah,
Um,
Julia Massimo, which was Julia's dad.
mhm.
I really liked his character too.
Yeah,
Um, and then both the leads, Alberto and Luca, were wonderful. Um,
yeah, they formed a great friendship,
yeah,
which was really and it was kind of like Alberto was sort of like the bad influence character,
yeah, yeah.
early on, like introducing him to all the human stuff that Luca wasn't allowed to kind of
Hmm.
get into. Um,
And you know
yeah,
what I really enjoyed about this is that it actually kind of ended up being as much Alberto's story as Luca's story.
mhm, yeah,
And I don't want to say too much more other than that. to not spoil how this thing shakes out, but
Sure.
it really, like you said, a lot of this is about the stuff that Luca couldn't experience, but then you find out towards the end a lot of it was about the stuff that Alberto couldn't experience
Hmm.
either.
Absolutely. And I liked a lot of aspects I liked about this movie was Luca just being exposed to all this new stuff and
Hmm.
learning all these new things, just starting with how to walk and
Yeah, yeah,
just being introduced to the human experience and everything, which was cool.
yeah, and
Um,
Luke, it's intercut with these little segments of like Luca's imagination running away. Those are a lot of fun.
mhm.
I think that kind of brought me in a little bit extra, to Luca as a character. So
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, I thought the visuals were stunning. The colors were just
yeah, yeah,
amazing. Again, I say this a lot, but especially if you're watching it, with HDR or Dolby Vision or something on a 4K TV, the colors are just unbelievable. And everything about it just looks beautiful.
yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
interesting that this
I
went
really
straight
liked
to
it.
Disney Plus. It
Hmm.
wasn't a Premier Access title. It wasn't in theaters at all. This is straight to Disney Plus, and that's it. And it's kind of surprising. I think. I think this could have done pretty well in theaters, but
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I mean, maybe they underestimated it a little bit,
yeah,
possibly.
yeah. I was kind of getting that feeling too. Like I was watching it, wondering why, and like I said at the top of this, like I wasn't too jazzed for this, and maybe that's kind of the vibe that they got. But I mean, I I don't have any complaints about this movie.
Yeah, no, I'd definitely recommend it. I mean,
Yeah,
especially, if you have Disney Plus, it's already included. You
yeah.
have
You're
a
not
young one
losing
at
anything.
home.
Right, right.
Um, you even if you don't have a kid and you like the animated films, I mean, this is another solid entry. Um,
Yeah.
but the kids will definitely love it as well. So,
Yeah, I've
yeah, I
watched
mean,
it actually like two times the whole way through, maybe bits of a third. So I mean, I've really enjoyed
mhm.
this. So for me, this kind of puts it like I got a lot of like Ratatouille vibes, and I don't know if
Mhm.
it's just it's very Italian, and I really like that
Yeah, I could
about
see
it.
that. Mhm.
And
Yeah.
with Ratatouille having those French vibes, I
French,
really
yeah.
kind of dug that too. And Pixar's been doing really good stuff, with um I don't want to like these international flavors of movie. You
Yeah,
know
just
what I'm
different
saying?
culture, like
Like
looking at different
Coco
cultures
and
and
all
yeah.
this other stuff. I think it's really been incredible. And
Yeah.
so like this kind of felt a lot like Ratatouille for me in some
Mhm.
ways. Um, but yeah, I've watched it multiple times already. I'm gonna watch it more. I love the music in this.
Mhm.
It's just really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah, and actually, as soon as we were done watching it, Sydney's like, "I want to watch it again," like
Yeah,
right away.
Grace
So,
is the same
yeah.
way. Grace fell in love with it too, and she giggles at the at Machiavelli, which is the cat. um,
Hmm.
I'll just leave it at this, but that saying about like pets look like their owners. Sometimes that's kind of how they
Yeah.
modeled that character, Machiavelli. But it's a lot of really funny parts with him, and it's just really fun. I mean, I don't usually rate these things, but this is an easy 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least an 8 for me, for sure. I think it's very good, very solid. I feel like I'm gonna be saying, what was that thing he kept saying? Silencio Bruno.
Silencio
Uh,
Bruno is a
I
really
feel like every
cool.
time I get nervous and
Yeah,
apprehensive about doing something, I'm just gonna say Silencio Bruno, and
that was a
you'll know what I'm talking about
yeah.
when I say it, when you see it. If you're a dad, it's Father's Day, and maybe it's the day after, whenever you're listening to this, watch this with your kid. She'll think he
And
or she will think
there's
you're a good
and
dad.
there's some good dad stuff in there too. To
Yeah.
be honest, Massimo does some really good dad parts in there. Even if he's not a dad to all of these characters, and he kind of takes on a little bit of that role at the end. And like you said, Silencio Bruno's kind of just a brilliant line that really brought me into that movie story even more.
Hmm.
I love that whole
Yeah.
Silencio Bruno thing, and it's one of those things that keeps coming back in the movie, and then you revisit at the end and some emotional weight stuff like that. So
Hmm.
it's really good, really good.
Yep. So we here at From a Certain Point of View are definitely recommending Luca.